If you own a diesel right now, what happens to it before 2030 is something you absolutely need to understand. Because the real story is nothing like what the headlines are telling you, and the vast majority of diesel owners across America have absolutely no idea what is actually coming their way, and that will cost many of them significantly. Diesel is disappearing from new car showrooms across the country, and that shift is happening faster than almost anyone expected. Back in 2017, nearly half of all new cars sold in Europe were diesel. Today, that number has collapsed to just 12%. So what actually caused diesel to fall this hard? And more importantly, what does all of this mean for you as a diesel owner right now? The truth behind this is far more complicated than most people realize. And when you look at the actual data and real regulations carefully, it is far less scary than the media consistently wants you to believe. Here is where it all starts. Automakers are facing a brutal financial equation. Building diesel engines and electric vehicles at the same time costs far more money than most companies can justify spending. The price of meeting ever-tightening emission standards, especially around carbon dioxide, has exploded in recent years. Under current European Union rules, manufacturers are hit with a fine of €95 for every single gram of carbon dioxide per kilometer that goes over their fleet target, and that number is multiplied across every car they sell. In 2020, Volkswagen Group paid over €100 million in penalties alone. FCA faced a €77 million bill for missing its carbon dioxide targets during that same period. And these regulations are only getting stricter as the decade moves forward. Limits dropped from 95 grams in 2021 all the way down to 61 grams by 2030. For most automakers, the math becomes brutally clear. Stop investing in new diesel development and redirect every available dollar toward electric vehicle technology instead. Diesel, once widely seen as a strong and logical bridge toward lower overall emissions, so this is pushing manufacturers straight over those very expensive regulatory limits that they simply cannot afford to cross without suffering serious financial consequences. Then came 2015, and one single scandal that permanently changed the entire story of diesel. Volkswagen admitted to using software that cheated emissions tests, exposing a practice that had quite spread across the wider industry for years before anyone spoke openly about it. Public trust in diesel shattered almost overnight. The damage went far beyond one brand and one country. Suddenly, every diesel vehicle on the road was being viewed with real suspicion, even as engineers were actively working hard to clean up the technology and meet far tougher real-world testing standards that were already in active development at that time. Here is what most people still do not know today. The modern Euro 6D diesels introduced in the years following that scandal are now tested under actual real-world driving conditions, not just controlled laboratory environments where results can be carefully managed. Independent testing labs now measure genuine on-road emissions, and the results are genuinely impressive when you look at them clearly and without bias. Modern Euro 6D diesels produce dramatically less nitrogen oxides and particulate matter compared to older models. In many cases, their emissions sit nearly as low as those produced by petrol cars or hybrid vehicles. But the stigma has stuck hard, and millions of drivers are still judging today's diesel technology entirely based on the well-publicized failures of a decade ago. If you currently own a recent Euro 6D vehicle, you are driving something considerably cleaner than public perception gives it credit for, and that matters enormously for how you think about your ownership going forward. Now let us talk clearly about what the laws actually say, because this is precisely where the widespread panic usually starts, and where most people get things completely wrong. In the UK, the sale of brand new pure petrol and diesel cars will end in 2030. Plug-in hybrids will remain available on sale for 5 more years after that point, and a complete transition to zero-emission new vehicles takes full effect in 2035. The European Union follows a nearly identical timeline through this same period. From 2035, only vehicles producing zero carbon dioxide at the tailpipe, meaning fully battery electric or hydrogen-powered cars, can be sold as new across EU member states. These policies do not touch existing diesel owners in any meaningful way. They apply only to new vehicles entering the market going forward from those specific dates. Owning, driving, and selling your current diesel vehicle remains completely legal well beyond any of those dates. The rules target what manufacturers are permitted to sell, not what private individuals can do with the vehicles they already own and rely upon daily. Low-emission zones are a completely separate conversation from the sales ban debate, and they do genuinely matter for many drivers in urban areas. In major UK cities including London, Birmingham, and Bristol, diesel cars must meet the Euro 6 standard, generally meaning vehicles registered from September 2015 onward, to avoid paying daily charges. In London specifically, a non-compliant diesel costs the driver £12.50 every single day just to enter the zone. Older Euro 5 models are almost always subject to those fees regardless of how few miles they have covered overall. But these are not hard bans. You can still drive into these areas. You simply pay the charge. Some cities, like Sheffield, only apply restrictions to commercial vehicles, leaving private cars completely unaffected. Outside these designated zones entirely, diesel owners retain full rights to drive, maintain, and sell their vehicles exactly as they always have. For tradespeople, rural drivers, and anyone who regularly moves heavy loads, diesel is not some outdated relic being quietly pushed aside. It remains the most practical option available by a considerable distance. A self-employed builder hauling tools and materials across the countryside every single working week cannot afford to wait several hours for a vehicle to recharge. He needs to pull into a fuel station, fill up in 5 minutes, and get straight back to work. That daily working reality has not changed at all. Diesel continues to power 96% of trucks and more than 80% of vans sold across Europe in 2024. Used values for modern diesel vans remain solid and steady, reflecting genuine, ongoing demand from professional drivers who depend on real-world capability every single day. There is also a significant development that changes the environmental picture entirely for current diesel owners who want to meaningfully reduce their impact without changing vehicles. Hydrotreated vegetable oil, widely known as HVO, is a renewable fuel made from waste oils and fats. It runs in most Euro 5 and Euro 6 diesel engines without requiring any mechanical modifications at all. When sourced sustainably, HVO can cut life cycle carbon dioxide emissions up to 90% compared to conventional diesel fuel. Major manufacturers including Volvo and Mercedes-Benz have officially approved HVO use across many of their recent production models. Always check your owner's manual or speak directly with your dealer before switching fuels, and select HVO produced from certified waste feedstocks to avoid contributing to environmental concerns linked to palm oil farming. For working drivers, this is a practical path to cleaner operation without sacrificing any performance. Diesel is not obsolete. It is evolving, and informed owners who understand the real timeline will make the right decisions for their own situation. Do not follow the noise and the panic being driven by people who have not read the actual regulations. Follow the actual facts, follow the real data, and make every decision based on your own specific driving situation and no one else's.